All right, welcome back, guys, to the channel. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video. I decided to make this video in English as well because some people feel more comfortable speaking in English when it comes to these topics, especially the kids that I know that are in the Latino church, but they were either raised here in the US or they were born here in the US, and they don't 100% identify with Spanish only. They're more like in the category that I like to call bilingual people. Like Homa, like they identify as bilingual. Like just keep it there. So one of the things we're going to talk today is how one of the representatives of the state of California is doing a few things that we should be aware of and push harder on the protection and the improvement of the church service to the younger generation. But we'll get that to in a second. Let's get it.
Mama said, don't say it if it ain't nice. I said, what if the truth is ugly and the lie is cute? She said, son, you gotta make exceptions for the truth.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Colorado Talks. So, this is real. I'm not even gonna take that much time on this. This is real. Like, I mean, it's a little too much. And a representative of the state of California just decided to push a little harder for a bill that will fine retailers across the state of California to have a gender neutral, non binary, I guess, toy section for kids. And you can tell me, that was the big deal about that. Number one is that the fact that somebody that has a position is trying to push this agenda based on feelings rather than facts, she'll tell you that us as the Church of Christ, we should be involved in politics a little bit more. I know the first court cases where the separation between the church and the state, and look at how great we've done ever since. People started pushing the church and the Bible away from schools, and look what we have. Mass shootings every month, sadly. Gender ideologies in schools, and not even like the bigger kids in high school. We're talking about elementary and pre-K sometimes. If you think about it, and the whole story, apparently, according to Evan Lowe, that's the name of the representative. Apparently, his 10-year-old child asked him, the 10-year-old kid is a girl, why wasn't she allowed to go to the boys section for toys? Number one, nobody's banned to go to the boys section for toys. And number two, this is when a person that knows facts, because I'm pretty sure this person's well educated to be in the position that they're at, that this he is at, should have been courageous enough to tell his daughter, hey, you're not prohibited to go to the boys section. Just think about it, you're a girl. And it always goes back to the Bible, how God created us. Think about it. When the man was created, God gave him an assignment. He gave him something to do. He gave him work to get done. And because of this work, he had to take the initiative. He had to be a leader, had to be out there. I don't know, think about it, saving animals, cutting trees, putting up fires, and that's what boys are like naturally. They're like, in their creation, they're gonna be out there protecting others, helping others, being leaders, having something to do. Whereas God, when He created the woman, the first thing that she saw was her husband. And that's why women are more centered in relationships, are like relationship driven. Now, if you think about it, as far as that, women had the role to nurture the family. And why do you think the first thing that girls grab when they're little is a baby doll? And what the first thing they play is, you know, um, family, food, taking care of a baby. Just think about it, and they don't know any of that. So you're telling me that now that's the main target that these people are going to use to try to have a negative effect on children. And you can tell me, well, everybody has a free will. Yeah, 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 yeah. That, hey, I mean, sure. But the point is that we're being forced into these things. First it was the if your child wants to be the other gender, they should be allowed to. If not, we're gonna take him and give him to child protective services. Now there's like it has to. God, the Bible, the church was pushed away from this, and these ideologies just like being shoved down their throats. To me, as a person that stands for values and morals, and for you too that are watching this video, they probably caught your attention because of the title. I want to tell you something. This is a wake up call. They're woke. We have to wake up to the new era. I'm not talking about the new era, new age. That's for another video. I'm talking about we made a disconnection. Well, the gospel isn't preached anymore to the kids, but the kids have a lot of knowledge. They know a lot of things. We just pretend they don't know. It's time for pastors, leaders, anybody that has a title in the church just to become a servant and help out the younger generations. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I used to run a youth group, and at the very beginning, they were bored out of their minds, and even I knew it was boring. But then I decided that I was gonna do something different. That I was just gonna take every single tactic out there that is new and like a little unorthodox for people that are supremely legalist, legalist. And I decided to present the gospel in a whole different way, and I just got people involved, and and things started to work on God's favor. But the one thing that these kids need is support, and it takes a great leader. If you're a pastor and watching this, if you're a leader watching this, if you're like somebody that has a position at church watching this, think about it. Why do kids feel so disconnected from God? And lastly, for this video, um, ladies and gentlemen, we're living in the end of times, and I just don't want you to ignore, because in legal terms, when somebody commits a crime and you give them the getaway car, you become a, what do you call this? A minion. Let's put it that way. You become accomplice. If you don't actually do the deed, but where the person thinking behind it, you can also be held accountable. And the one thing that I learned from my CPR certifications is that if you have a certification and don't act, you can be held accountable if somebody is having an attack, if somebody's being is in need of your assistance and you don't do it. So people of God, kids need your assistance. Kids need you to step up, make some noise. I know people have all different kinds of ideas like, oh, people shouldn't wear jeans to church, people who shouldn't wear makeup to church, people shouldn't laugh when they go to church, people shouldn't dance when they go to church, people shouldn't be people when they go to church. And we're wasting our energy or resources or power in this when we should be getting the next generation engage and set free. They should know there's a lot of people, there's a lot of younger boys and girls that are struggling with this because somebody at church didn't decide to speak the truth rather than just go around it. But hey, I want you guys to understand that every single one of us, as people of God, we have a part, we have a role to play. Whether it's you sharing memes or supporting a Christian influencer, speaking to somebody, not listening to something that you know that is not good, uh, like not going to certain stores because they're pushing these things, or like not spending this kind of money in this place because like these things you can do, but the main thing you can do is like act upon something. Look in your house, look in your close family, in your second family. You know what you can do, and all I want you to do is like act upon it. Because the easiest thing to do is just to stay quiet and not do anything. But thank you guys for watching the video, guys. We're gonna talk about something else next week, but I want you to leave in your comments. What do you wish your church could do different for the youth and the kids? One of my main things is just take the same message and bring it to 2023. I used to put memes in my teachings in Bible in youth group, and they were effective. People used to understand the stories about the Bible. It wasn't orthodox, I mean, but it got the work done. Again, see you guys later.
I said, what if the truth is ugly and the lie is cute? She said, son, you gotta make exceptions for the truth.